What would you say, Mo, are the top 3 tips you would give people to help us find our happiness?
Well, I mean, the first one is to understand that happiness is a choice. Suffering is a choice. And when I say that to people get angry at me. They go like, are you telling me that I'm unhappy because I choose to be unhappy? Look at my life. Life is horrible. It's treating me so badly. This is why I'm unhappy. Total crap. Okay? Life is treating everyone badly. For each of us, the test is probably the one part that we need to develop most. So it appears to be more difficult than everyone else's test, right? And the truth is, life also treats us well. The fact that you are here and that you and I are able to speak and that some of our audiences are able to use an electronic device to link to the internet to hear this means that they're probably one of the luckiest 1% of the world, right? We forget to see that. We forget to see, that harshness is part of the game. Okay, that life is not hard for just to stumble your path. It's hard because you need to learn something or change direction. Now, the choice that we have to make is a choice that says, it's not the events of my life that make me unhappy. It's the way I think about them that make me unhappy. And I could actually ask, listeners today, as we're speaking right now, to close your eyes, take a few seconds, just to think of something that makes you unhappy. Right? And when you find something that makes you unhappy, I encourage you to count the beads, the number of beads in the necklace that Michael is wearing, and shake it around a little, Michael, if you don't mind. Just make the task a little more difficult. Rub your nose with it or do whatever it is. Oh my God! Has anyone counted the beads? No, but everyone, the minute they engaged in this, they stopped thinking, and the second we stop thinking, the unhappiness goes away. Yeah. It's really so interesting. The blank brain test is the minute you turn your brain blank. If you lose the thought that makes you unhappy, your default setting is childlike and it's happy. So the number one priority I ask people to take into consideration when they're looking for their happiness is to realize that happiness is a choice, because we can choose how to think of life. Okay? And of course, it takes a ton of training, and that's what my book is all about. But with that training, you can get to a point where your brain doesn't hijack you anymore, where the survival mechanism of your brain allows you to actually take charge of life and make progress in life, but not feel unhappy in the process. That's number one. Make the choice. Make happiness your number one priority. Number two is happiness is like fitness. It's not a big deal. There must be like 16,000 fitness trainers in your neighborhood that are telling you that fitness is highly complicated and that you need to work out that muscle 16 times a day, and then it's crazy. And nutrition and fitness is really straightforward. Make it your priority and work out 4 to 5 times a week. It's really that simple. If you're gonna make fitness your priority, you're gonna say no to cheesecake. And if you work out 4 to 5 times a week, you're going to be fitter. You may not end up having a six-pack, but you're going to be fitter. Similarly, this is the situation with happiness. Happiness is very straightforward. Make it your priority so that your choices are dictated by happiness and not by making $100 more in your next job. If you interview for a job that makes you $100 more, you're likely to find the job that makes you $100 more, but not likely to find the job that makes you happier. And if you are interviewing for the next job and you're looking for a job that's going to make you happier, you're more likely to find it. What we set our priorities to is what we get as humans. That's number two. And so I ask people to do the work. And what do I mean by do the work? Go to the gym 4 to 5 times a week. Spend an hour a day, 4 to 5 times a week, learning about happiness. Watching a video, reading a book, talking to people that you know are happy, discussing the topic of happiness with your friends. Find the time and put in the investment to become happier. That's number two. Number three, it's my biggest tip ever. There is no way you can find happiness alone. If your daughter is not happy, if your loved one's not happy, if your people that you care about are not happy, you will find that you're not able to find happiness. I mean, you can get into a happier state, but don't leave anyone behind. I have staggering statistics, Michael. It is really a disaster. Forget AI, there is a current disaster. And the current disaster, I call it 1 in 4.
Yeah.
The current disaster is that 1 in 4 people around you in the Western world are depressed. They are diagnosed with depression. Okay? 1 of every 4 people that we ask, when you feel unhappy, 1 of every 4 people will say, I have no one to turn to, not a single person to turn to when I feel unhappy. That's 25%, 1 of every 4 people. Okay? And 1 in 40 seconds, every 40 seconds, we lose a human to suicide. Okay? A life, since we started our conversation, we must have lost 100 people to suicide. Can you imagine that? And suicide is not a question of depression, it's a question of depression and despair. It is us giving up on those who are unhappy. Instead of taking charge and trying to show them love. I'm not asking you to fix them. I'm just asking you to remind them that they are loved, even if they are going through a tough time, even if they are feeling down, even if they are difficult to be with. Now, the answer to happiness, the true happiness that I have felt in the last 2 to 3 years of my life, like I have never felt before, is to make others happy. So what I ask people as part of the 1 billion happy mission is prioritize your happiness, invest in your happiness, but then go to step 3 and tell people what you learn. Because if every one of us tells 2 people who will tell 2 people, within 5 years we will reach 1 billion people who received the message and turned their life to happiness. Imagine a world where we have 1 billion happy people.
Woohoo!